Have you ever found yourself wondering why some individuals seem to possess an almost, well, superhuman ability to bounce back from setbacks? Learning and growing stronger with each challenge.
While others find themselves kind of paralyzed, stuck in maybe a cycle of fear and avoidance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or perhaps you've considered if the very way you perceive your own innate intelligence and capabilities might actually be the invisible barrier holding you back from achieving, your most ambitious dreams.
It's a powerful thought, isn't it?
It really is. Welcome to Quick Book Club, where we plunge into transformative ideas that reshape our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
And today, we're definitely not just skimming the surface.
No way. We're taking a full, immersive plunge into a truly seminal work, one that has quite literally rewired the thinking of millions globally about their inherent potential.
We're dissecting Carol Dweck's groundbreaking book, Mindset, Fixed versus Growth for a Better Life.
That's the one.
And you're absolutely right. This isn't merely another entry in the vast ocean of, self-help literature. It's really a foundational text.
It feels more substantial than that.
Definitely. It's profoundly influenced fields like psychology, education, personal development. Its reach is genuinely global.
You mentioned it's translated into, what, over 40 languages?
Over 40 languages, yeah.
Yeah.
Selling millions of copies worldwide. And it's earned this unparalleled level of respect and endorsement from really diverse and influential groups.
Like who?
Well, ranging from educators shaping young minds to parents navigating the complexities of raising kids, and even, top business leaders driving innovation and growth.
Oh, so a really broad impact.
Its undeniable influence is, I think, a testament to the sheer power of its core message.
And its relevance has only deepened over time, hasn't it? The first edition came out, what, 2006?
That's right, 2006. But Dweck has continually updated and refined her insights in subsequent editions.
Which really shows the enduring kind of timeless nature of her research, I think.
It does. And you've likely seen it featured prominently in major media outlets, the kind that really shape national conversations.
Oh, yeah, like the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal.
Even Oprah Winfrey's platform, huge visibility.
So this isn't just some fleeting buzz or a momentary trend.
Not at all. It's a profound, meticulously researched concept that continues to resonate because, well, it speaks to a fundamental truth about human potential.
So what would you say is the core mission of Mindset? What's it
Yeah.
trying to do for the listener?
At its heart, the central mission is to illuminate for you, our listener, the profound, often unconscious ways your mindset.
Which Dweck defines as your fundamental beliefs about your own abilities and intelligence, right?
Precisely. How those beliefs shape and ultimately direct your entire life trajectory. It's about pulling back the curtain, really.
Helping you understand the lens through which you see everything. Challenges, success, failure.
Exactly. That perspective dictates your reactions and, crucially, opens or closes pathways to growth.
And the promises this book makes are truly significant. It offers a really compelling vision for personal transformation.
Oh, absolutely. Dweck argues that consciously applying the principles she outlines can lead to tangible, measurable, and deeply positive shifts.
Across pretty much every aspect of your daily life, she says.
Yeah, we're talking about more than just, incremental improvements. This includes things like higher academic achievement.
Which is huge for students, obviously, or anyone learning something new.
Definitely. But it extends far beyond the classroom. It fosters increased strength and flexibility in how you approach complex problems.
Okay.
A noticeable enhancement in your creativity and capacity for innovation.
Even relationships.
Even a marked improvement in the quality and resilience of your personal relationships, yeah.
Yeah.
And ultimately, greater and more sustainable career success.
So it's presented as a powerful roadmap, a way to systematically unlock capabilities you might not even realize you possess.
Exactly. Profoundly enriching your experience of life.
Okay, well, with that exciting prospect in mind, let's truly begin this deep dive into the revolutionary world of mindset.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this foundational idea then, the one that underpins Carol Dweck's entire framework.
Right. The core concept.
Her central argument, the absolute cornerstone of the book's philosophy, is that fundamentally, individuals primarily operate from one of two distinct mindsets.
The fixed mindset or the growth mindset.
Exactly. And it's crucial to understand these aren't just, arbitrary labels or simple personality traits.
No, they represent fundamentally different paradigms, distinct ways of seeing yourself, your capabilities.
And the very nature of intelligence and talent itself. They dictate how you engage with the world.
It's truly insightful, isn't it, how these seemingly straightforward distinctions lead to such dramatically divergent life outcomes.
Let's really dig into the fixed mindset first. What does that actually look like?
Okay, so individuals who deeply hold this belief system are convinced, right down at their core, that their intelligence, their inherent talents, their personal capabilities are static, immutable traits.
Meaning they can't be changed.
Pretty much. They genuinely believe these qualities are endowed at birth, like you get a fixed quantity of a resource, and it can't be fundamentally altered or significantly improved no matter how much effort you put in.
So you're either smart or you're not. Talented or you're not.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the basic belief system, yeah.
And if you genuinely hold that core belief, their behaviors become remarkably predictable, don't they?
They really do.
I mean, if you perceive your intelligence as this fixed quantity, something that can be measured and judged, why would you ever willingly put yourself in a situation that might reveal it to be, well, less than you hoped?
Right, or expose some perceived inadequacy.
So this belief system typically manifests in a strong tendency to actively avoid challenges.
Yes. They see challenges not as opportunities for development, but as direct threats to their perceived innate ability.
It's like, for them, every difficult task is a straight-up test of their fixed ability.
And if there's a chance they might not pass with flying colors.
They'd rather just not take the test at all. Avoidance.
Exactly. This also leads to a profound, often debilitating fear of failure. Because failure, in their framework, isn't feedback.
It's what? Proof.
It's irrefutable proof of inherent inadequacy. It confirms their worst fears about themselves.
Wow. And how do they react to other people's success?
Well, rather than being inspired, they frequently experience feelings of jealousy, envy, or deep insecurity.
Why? Because another person's brilliance somehow diminishes their own fixed standing.
That seems to be the thinking, yeah. It feels like a zero-sum game.
It sounds like a heavy burden to carry when your sense of self-worth is so tightly tied to an unchangeable trait.
It really is. Any sign of struggle, any minor imperfection can feel like a direct assault on your very identity.
Okay, so that's the fixed mindset. Let's sharply contrast that now with the growth mindset. You called it a liberating alternative.
It really is. Individuals operating from this perspective hold the deeply empowering belief that intelligence, talent, capabilities are not at all fixed.
So the complete opposite.
Completely.
Yeah.
They view these qualities as dynamic, malleable, and capable of active development and expansion.
How? Through what?
Through consistent effort, unwavering dedication, and a continuous lifelong commitment to learning.
So it's a fundamental shift from being smart to becoming smarter.
Exactly. It's a journey of perpetual improvement, not a fixed state.
And this is where it gets genuinely transformative, right?
Yeah.
Because their behaviors are a complete inversion of the fixed mindset.
Totally. They embrace challenges head-on. They don't see them as intimidating threats.
But as opportunities.
Vital, stimulating opportunities for profound learning and significant improvement.
And failure. What about failure for them?
For them, failure isn't a dead end or a final judgment. It's understood as an essential, often uncomfortable, yes, but always necessary, step on the winding path to mastery.
So they internalize the idea that effort isn't a sign of weakness.
Or a lack of innate ability.
It's literally the path to mastery. It's the fuel for growth.
Precisely. And far from feeling threatened by others' accomplishments, they are genuinely inspired by them.
They see successes as powerful examples of what's possible through hard work.
Exactly. A testament to human potential, not a limitation on their own.
Dweck's assertion about the growth mindset is really powerful then. She basically says cultivating it can introduce deep, lasting, positive transformations into anyone's life.
She does. And importantly, this isn't just, optimistic theory or some motivational platitude.
It's backed by research.
Rigorously substantiated by extensive, compelling research. Studies consistently show that individuals who cultivate a growth mindset don't just achieve greater overall success across various domains.
But they're also more flexible, more adaptable.
Significantly higher levels of flexibility and adaptability when navigating diverse and often challenging life situations.
Yes, and happier too.
Crucially, they also report markedly higher levels of overall life satisfaction and well-being. It's a complete paradigm shift that impacts both achievement and emotional flourishing.
Wow. Okay. After hearing all that, you might be thinking, right, this sounds incredible, but how do I figure out which one describes me right now?
Yeah, where do I fit in?
Does Dweck offer a way to do that?
She does. She actually provides a remarkably straightforward yet powerful self-assessment. It involves guiding you through a series of reflective questions designed to help pinpoint your own predominant mindset.
And these aren't just casual queries, right? They're designed to tap into your deepest, most instinctive reactions.
Exactly. The first question she urges us to deeply consider is, how do you truly feel, like in your gut, about failure?
Okay.
Do you perceive it primarily as a devastating disappointment that immediately halts all progress, makes you want to retract and give up?
Yeah.
Or do you genuinely deeply see it as a valuable, indispensable learning opportunity, a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block?
So you need to take a moment and honestly reflect on that. What's your immediate gut reaction when things go wrong?
Your unvarnished reaction when you make a mistake or face a significant setback. Your answer here is incredibly telling.
Okay, and there's a second question too.
Yes, equally revealing. Dweck poses. How do you typically react when confronted with challenges?
Okay. Avoid or engage?
Pretty much. Do you consistently shy away from them? Actively seek to avoid discomfort or the risk of failure? Or do you instead feel a surge of energy? Do you actively seek to confront and overcome them, seeing them as exciting puzzles to solve?
Your response here can reveal a lot about your fundamental operating system, right? Your default program when things get genuinely difficult.
Absolutely, when something stretches your current capabilities.
Now, if you've gone through those questions and maybe you're unsure, or perhaps you identify more strongly with the fixed mindset right now, what's the message? Is it game over?
Not at all. This is the incredibly empowering and liberating message Dweck delivers with such conviction.
Which is?
Even if you identify with the fixed mindset today, this isn't a life sentence. Your mindset is not fixed, ironically.
That's the core for a hopeful message then.
It really is. The journey to consciously adopting and internalizing a growth mindset is genuinely accessible to everyone, regardless of your current baseline or ingrained patterns of thought.
Because it's a learned trait.
Crucially, yes. It's a skill that can be developed and strengthened over time through intentional practice.
And the absolute cornerstone of starting that shift, what's the key?
It's belief. Dweck stresses, with paramount importance, the necessity of cultivating a fundamental, unwavering belief in your own inherent capacity for continuous development and boundless improvement.
This core belief that you can grow, you can learn, you can adapt.
She argues, quite compellingly, that this conviction exerts a powerfully positive, transformative influence on virtually every single facet of your life. It's like the internal switch that unlocks everything else.
What's really fascinating here is observing how individuals who deeply embody a growth mindset derive genuine pleasure not just from the outcome of learning, but from the very process itself.
That's a great point. They don't merely tolerate the effort involved, they actually seem to revel in it.
They eagerly embrace challenges with this palpable sense of excitement, seeing them as puzzles.
Exactly. Stimulating puzzles rather than daunting obstacles. They get excited by the prospect of acquiring new skills, even when it's really difficult.
And this inherent excitement, this love for the process, provides sustained motivation.
A remarkably sustained and resilient source of motivation, yes. Even when navigating incredibly difficult or prolonged challenging situations, precisely because the act of engaging with the difficulty, of pushing their boundaries, is inherently rewarding to them.
That reframing of failure is utterly pivotal then. It's a profound philosophical and psychological shift.
It really is. For individuals with a growth mindset, failure is stripped of its personal indictment. It loses that connotation of inadequacy.
Instead, it's instinctively understood as essential, necessary even.
An essential, necessary, and incredibly valuable step on the path toward progress and, ultimately, mastery.
And this reframed view empowers individuals to persist, to keep going, despite setbacks.
With remarkable resilience, yes.
Yep.
Seeing each stumble not as a definitive judgment of their worth or ability, but as crucial, actionable feedback.
Like a data point, not a final verdict.
Exactly. Feedback that informs their next attempt and propels them forward.
This internal framework also explains their motivation and flexibility.
Right, beautifully. Growth mindset individuals instinctively attribute success not to some fixed, innate talent,
But to
diligent hard work, unwavering perseverance, and an insatiable, continuous desire to learn.
And this internal attribution is why they're inspired by others' achievements rather than envious.
Precisely. They don't see another success as diminishing their own. They see it as a beacon, a proof point of what dedicated effort can achieve. It illuminates a path they too can pursue.
And Dweck broadens this discussion beautifully, emphasizing it isn't just about individual psychology.
Right, she looks at the societal level too.
Illustrating how the widespread adoption of a growth mindset by influential figures, parents, teachers, leaders.
Can cultivate a remarkably supportive, dynamic, and profoundly motivating environment.
An ecosystem where everyone, kids and adults, feels inspired and empowered to continuously learn and grow.
Exactly. Reaching for their fullest potential, creating this powerful, self-reinforcing ripple effect throughout the community.
Okay, here's where Dweck really challenges some deeply ingrained conventional wisdom, particularly around how we praise children.
Ah, yes, the praise chapter. It's quite eye-opening.
Intuitively, most of us believe that all forms of praise are inherently beneficial. A universal good, right? Good job. You're so smart.
Seems logical, but Dweck introduces a critical, highly nuanced distinction. She rigorously demonstrates that in certain specific situations, the very praise we offer
Even with the best intentions.
can inadvertently be detrimental to a child's development, subtly steering them towards a fixed mindset.
This is a point that often surprises parents and educators, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's truly insightful how the effect of praise differs so significantly based on a child's existing, often still developing mindset.
Okay, so take children who are already leading towards a fixed mindset.
Mm.
What happens when you praise them for their intelligence or talent? Like saying, "You're so smart," or "You're a natural."
They tend to perceive this praise as an affirmation of a fixed, inherent, immutable ability.
Which sounds good on the surface.
But while seemingly positive, this can lead to intense anxiety about consistently performing at that perceived high level. The pressure to always be the smart one becomes immense.
For consequently, they become risk-averse. They avoid challenges.
Incredibly risk-averse. They actively avoid challenges, especially difficult or unfamiliar ones, precisely to prevent any potential failure that might expose a perceived flaw or disprove their gift.
Dweck vividly illustrates how they become trapped by their own perceived brilliance, right? Fearing any struggle will reveal them as a fraud.
Exactly. It's a really subtle but powerful trap.
That's a truly powerful and often overlooked point. It creates this psychological pressure cooker. The child becomes so focused on appearing smart that they stop becoming smarter.
Well put.
But what about children who exhibit a growth mindset? How does praise affect them differently?
When these children are praised for their effort or the process, they undertook comments like, "I liked how you really persevered with that difficult problem," or "Your strategy for approaching that challenge was really clever."
They interpret that praise differently.
Completely. They interpret it as a genuine acknowledgement of their hard work, their resilience, their strategies, and their progress.
And this form of encouragement deeply motivates them.
Yes, it empowers them to eagerly accept new, even more complex challenges and to actively seek further learning opportunities.
Because they internalize the message that effort is the clear path to growth.
Exactly. Not just some innate trait they either possess or don't.
To make this distinction crystal clear, Dweck offers specific examples, contrasting harmful praise with positive praise.
Yes, this is really practical. Harmful praise, she explains, includes those seemingly benign phrases like, "You are so smart," or "You are a genius."
Why are those harmful?
According to Dweck, they inadvertently foster a fixed mindset by focusing solely on an inherent trait. They communicate to the child, often unconsciously, your worth and your identity are tied to this static quality.
Which can make them brittle when they face difficulty.
Precisely.
So what does truly positive, growth-oriented praise look like in practice then?
It's profoundly constructive and actionable. Think of phrases like, "You worked incredibly hard to solve that problem and your persistence really paid off."
Okay, focusing on the work.
Or, "I genuinely liked how you tried a new creative approach even when the first few didn't work," praising strategy and resilience.
Even something simple like noticing improvement.
Yes. "You've improved so much on this skill since last week. I'm incredibly proud of you for not giving up despite the initial difficulties."
These examples directly promote a growth mindset by emphasizing effort, strategy, persistence, progress.
Exactly. They are designed to inspire continued learning and growth rather than creating that paralyzing fear of not living up to a static label.
It raises an incredibly important question for all of us, doesn't it? Are we, maybe inadvertently, setting up children for a fixed mindset by showering them with praise for inherent intelligence rather than celebrating their grit, their resilience, their effort?
It truly reshapes how we think about encouragement. It's undeniably a critical distinction, not just for parents, but for educators, mentors, anyone influencing others' development.
Dweck makes a compelling case that the type of praise matters far more than the quantity.
Absolutely. Quality over quantity in this case.
Okay, let's unpack this next big idea, because Dweck's exploration of mindset extends far beyond just kids in school.
Oh, yeah, it's much broader than that.
She emphatically emphasizes how mindsets profoundly impact every single facet of human experience, permeating well beyond classrooms.
To encompass the intricate dynamics of personal relationships, the intense demands of athletic endeavors,
Professional careers, and even the deeply personal journey of individual self-development.
it's truly pervasive, like a foundational operating system for life itself.
It's profoundly insightful to observe the fixed mindset in action across these diverse and critical domains. Let's take relationships, for example.
Okay, individuals with a fixed mindset often perceive their romantic partnerships, friendships, family bonds as inherently fragile, almost like delicate glass ornaments.
That could shatter at any moment.
Something like that. They tend to actively avoid conflict at all costs.
Why? What are they afraid of?
Fearing that any disagreement or imperfection could signal an irreparable flaw in the relationship itself, or even in their own worth as a partner.
So this often leads to emotional distance, sweeping things under the rug.
Exactly. Rather than fostering open, honest communication and collaborative problem solving, for them, if the relationship isn't immediately perfect, it must be inherently broken.
And they might disengage or even flee.
It can happen, yes.
And in the realm of sports, it's remarkably clear to see, isn't it?
Very clear. Athletes with a fixed mindset frequently shy away from risks, choosing to stick to what they know, maybe opting for easier paths in practice or competition.
And they attribute victory solely to innate talent. Winners are born that way.
Pretty much that thinking, which means they don't see the point in putting in extra effort if they aren't perceived as naturally gifted.
And conversely, defeat, or even just a poor performance,
They tend to view that as irrefutable proof of their own weakness or fundamental inadequacy.
leading them to give up quickly, maybe even abandon the sport.
It can happen. Rather than enduring the discomfort of potential struggle, they might just walk away.
Okay, what about in professional life? How does a fixed mindset show up there?
Often as a pronounced resistance to innovation and any form of creative problem solving.
Because they assume their existing knowledge and skills are sufficient. No need for development.
Exactly. They operate under that assumption. You'll often hear them say things like, "This is how we've always done it," or "If it ain't broke, don't fix it."
Which can be a real barrier to progress.
Absolutely. This rigid approach makes them unwilling to learn new technologies, adapt to evolving markets, or embrace new strategies. It can really stymie their own careers and the growth of their organizations.
And when it comes to personal development, just improving oneself.
Individuals with a fixed mindset often view the process of learning and self-improvement as difficult, arduous, often thankless, so they avoid significant effort.
They lack that fundamental belief in their own capacity for growth.
Characteristically, yes, which ultimately prevents them from pushing themselves beyond their current perceived limits. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of stagnation.
Okay, so that paints a fairly bleak picture for the fixed mindset across the board. Let's flip it. Explore the growth mindset in vibrant action in these same areas. Relationships first.
Right. Those with a growth mindset view relationships as dynamic, evolving opportunities for mutual learning, shared experience, and profound growth.
So not fragile glass, but something you build together.
Exactly. They actively prioritize open, transparent communication and engage in collaborative problem solving. They see conflict not as a threat,
But as
a constructive chance to deepen understanding, strengthen bonds, and grow together as individuals and as a couple. They understand relationships require effort and continuous refinement.
Okay, makes sense. In sports.
It's a completely different and far more inspiring story. Growth mindset athletes eagerly embrace challenges, even tough practice routines. They understand discomfort is often a sign of progress.
And they view victory as the result of
Dedicated effort, meticulous preparation, and continuous learning.
and defeat.
Crucially, they interpret defeat not as personal failure or a judgment, but as an invaluable opportunity to learn, to analyze what went wrong, strategize for improvement.
They're remarkably resilient then, constantly striving to refine skills.
Yes, always pushing their physical and mental limits.
Professionally, how does the growth mindset manifest?
They enthusiastically embrace innovation and creativity. They are perpetual learners.
Consistently seeking opportunities for continuous learning, skill acquisition, professional development.
All of the above. They view change not as a threat, but as an exciting avenue for growth. You'll find them actively volunteering for new projects, taking stretch assignments.
Always looking for ways to improve things, contribute fresh ideas.
Exactly, fostering a dynamic and progressive work environment.
And in personal development, this mindset truly shines, you said.
It really does. They genuinely find the process of learning to be enjoyable, even thrilling, and profoundly rewarding.
They're perpetually curious.
Yeah.
Continuously striving for new knowledge and skills.
Across diverse fields, yeah. They possess this unshakable belief in their own capacity for limitless self-improvement and actively push themselves forward.
Consciously stepping out of their comfort zones.
Yes, truly embodying the spirit of lifelong learning and self-actualization.
This brings us to a particularly important point Dweck addresses: perfectionism.
Ah, yes, a common struggle.
She defines perfectionism as this intense, often crippling obsession with flawlessness, coupled with a debilitating fear of failure.
And she highlights that it's profoundly influenced by one's underlying mindset.
A fixed mindset, she explains, can significantly exacerbate perfectionism.
Yes, it leads individuals to avoid challenges entirely, to experience intense self-shame and anxiety over even minor imperfection.
And ultimately, it hinders their ability to genuinely enjoy life because they're chasing this unattainable ideal.
Exactly. It's a recipe for misery, often.
So if a fixed mindset fuels perfectionism, then the growth mindset acts as its powerful antidote.
That's the idea. Adopting a growth mindset can significantly mitigate the negative, paralyzing effects of perfectionism.
Oh, what's the shift?
It involves a fundamental shift. Setting goals oriented towards personal development and continuous learning rather than solely on achieving flawless outcomes. It means consistently focusing on and praising the effort and the process, not just the results.
Right, like we discussed with praising kids.
Same principle. It's about actively learning from mistakes, reframing them as necessary data points for improvement, not personal failures.
And crucially, encouraging small, manageable, continuous steps forward. Iterative progress.
Yes. Instead of demanding immediate, pristine, flawless results, it's about celebrating the journey of improvement, not just the elusive destination of perfection.
So how do we take these profound insights from Carol Dweck and actually put this growth mindset to work? In the real world, let's dive into some practical, actionable applications, starting on the sports field.
Makes sense. In sports, a player's mindset isn't just psychological fluff. It directly, dramatically impacts performance, resilience, motivation.
So contrast them again. A fixed mindset player faced with a loss.
Might quickly attribute it to inherent disability, lack of talent, I'm just not good enough. They might give up easily on a difficult play or feel that sting of jealousy when a teammate excels.
Believing that person's success diminishes their own.
Yeah, they feel immense pressure to constantly prove their innate abilities. If they don't win, they conclude they're simply not cut out for it.
But a growth mindset player, that's a different game entirely, you said.
Completely. They view mistakes not as failures, but as crucial, invaluable learning opportunities.
They're genuinely inspired by others' successes, using them as motivation.
Yes, motivation to push themselves even harder. When they face defeat or struggle, it doesn't punch them.
It fuels them.
It actually fuels them, inspiring them to put in more effort, analyze their performance, refine strategies. They embrace challenges with enthusiasm.
Seeing them as direct paths to improvement and mastery.
Exactly. And what's truly fascinating here is the crucial role coaches and parents play in fostering this growth mindset in young athletes.
It's not just about winning games.
No, it's about consistent encouragement, focusing on effort and learning, deliberately presenting appropriate challenges that push athletes out of their comfort zones, not just drills for easy wins.
Dweck highlights coaches like John Wooden, right? Who meticulously taught the process of excellence.
Yes, and Pete Carroll, who emphasizes collective learning from mistakes. It's about the culture created.
Okay, moving from the playing field to the boardroom, Dweck offers a profound, almost counterintuitive insight for business success.
She does. Beyond the strategies, the products, the plans, she argues that junoon, an intense, unwavering passion, is the single most crucial ingredient.
Passion. More important than strategy.
She asserts that without this inner fire, this deep drive, even the most brilliant strategies might ultimately be in vain. They lack the vital spark for long-term endurance and adaptation.
So let's define this. What exactly is junoon or passion in Dweck's context? It's not just enthusiasm.
Far more than fleeting enthusiasm, it's that unwavering inner fire, that profound intrinsic drive that compels individuals to persevere relentlessly with a task, a vision, a goal.
Regardless of the daunting challenges, difficulties, setbacks.
Exactly. It's the deep-seated commitment that keeps you pushing forward when things get incredibly tough, when others might easily give up.
It's the intrinsic belief in the value of what you're doing.
That transcends mere transactional reward. Yes.
And this Junoon is indispensable for several reasons.
Powerful reasons. Firstly, passion cultivates remarkable flexibility and adaptability. When you truly care, you'll find creative ways to adjust and pivot.
Rather than clinging rigidly to a failing plan.
Right. Secondly, it ignites innovation. Deep passion often compels individuals to think outside the box, challenge assumptions, find entirely new solutions because they're so invested.
And
Thirdly, this authentic passion serves as an incredibly powerful motivator for others, creating an infectious ripple effect through a team or organization.
inspiring collective effort far beyond what mere incentives could achieve.
Exactly. Dweck gives examples of entrepreneurs driven by almost irrational passion, who overcame seemingly insurmountable obstacles, not because they were the smartest, but because they simply refused to quit.
Wow. Okay, now let's bring it closer to home. Mindset in personal relationships, partnerships specifically.
Right. Dweck advises us to actively encourage and genuinely support our partners in their own journeys of learning new skills, exploring interests, pursuing goals.
So providing not just moral support, but resources, assistance, being an active partner in their growth.
Yes. Celebrating their individual evolution, not fearing it.
It's also fundamentally about how you handle conflict, which is inevitable.
Absolutely. Dweck stresses the immense importance of openly discussing the reasons for arguments and collaboratively working to resolve problems.
Rather than avoidance, which lets resentment fester.
Exactly. Seeing disagreements as opportunities to learn about each other and strengthen the relationship.
And of course, appreciating and celebrating a partner's achievements, expressing genuine pride.
Yes, and actively inspiring their continued growth, reminding them of their potential, reinforcing their efforts. It's about building each other up.
Seeing the relationship itself as a dynamic, evolving growth journey.
That both individuals contribute to and benefit from. Precisely.
For parents, this section of Dweck's work is absolutely monumental, you mentioned.
It really is. She reiterates the profound, lasting impact of parental praise methods on a child's developing mindset.
A concept we touched on, but worth emphasizing again, she provides specific, actionable advice.
Incredibly actionable, urging parents to consciously avoid fixed mindset reinforcing praise.
Like the "you're so smart" or "you're a genius" lines.
Exactly, which Dweck argues can, counterintuitively, create that dangerous trap for the child, making them fearful of failure so they stop taking risks.
Instead, Dweck advises parents to consistently, deliberately, specifically praise.
Effort and progress. Reframing your language. Statements like, I saw how hard you worked on that complex math problem and your perseverance really paid off.
Or noticing improvement again. You've improved so much on your drawing technique from last week. I'm incredibly proud of you for not giving up even when it was challenging.
These kinds of statements foster a deeply ingrained growth mindset. They teach kids that effort is valuable, strategies can improve, mistakes are learning opportunities.
Parents should also actively encourage their children to bravely face challenges, to experiment.
Yes, and crucially, to learn from their mistakes without shame or fear of judgment.
Nurturing curiosity and a love for learning that goes beyond school.
Absolutely. It truly makes you ponder. Are we giving our children the vital permission to fail and learn, or are we inadvertently teaching them to avoid risk?
Striving for an unsustainable, fragile perfection.
Yeah, it's really about cultivating and encouraging psychologically safe environment.
Where kids feel empowered to take calculated risks, make errors as a natural part of learning, and learn constructively from them.
Rather than viewing them as personal shortcomings, they need to internalize that imperfection is the starting point for all growth.
Okay, so what about for our own personal mindset transformation? What concrete steps does Dweck offer?
She offers clear guidance anyone can start implementing today. First step, develop meticulous self-awareness.
Meaning?
Begin by paying very close attention, almost like an objective observer, to your own internal thoughts, your self-talk, your behaviors that might signal a fixed mindset.
Catching yourself when you shrink from a challenge, make an excuse, feel that pang of jealousy.
Exactly. Awareness is the absolute first step towards change.
Then second.
Actively practice positive self-talk. Once you identify those fixed mindset thoughts, consciously, deliberately work to replace them with positive, growth-oriented affirmations.
So instead of, "I'm just not good at this,"
Consciously reframe it to, My capacity can grow. This is an opportunity for me to develop new skills.
We'll replace "this is too hard, I'll never get it" with
I can overcome this challenge if I apply myself and learn from mistakes. Your internal dialogue holds immense power.
third, and crucially, embrace novelty and challenge.
Yes, this means consciously stepping out of your comfort zone, even if it feels daunting.
Actively seek out new experiences, try new hobbies, learn new skills, deliberately take on challenges that stretch you.
Exactly. Facing these experiences, embracing the discomfort, taking calculated risks are absolutely crucial for tangibly shifting your mindset towards growth.
It's about consistently doing the hard thing, even if you're not sure you'll succeed immediately.
Dweck highlights that true growth rarely happens within the confines of what you already know. You have to stretch.
And finally, but perhaps most pivotally,
Learn from failure. This is about a radical reframing of setbacks and perceived failures.
instead of seeing them as definitive judgments of your abilities, the fixed mindset trap.
Consciously reframe them as invaluable opportunities for self-discovery, for gaining crucial insights, for profound personal improvement.
This is where genuine lasting growth truly happens, in overcoming adversity and applying what you learned.
Absolutely. In the crucible of overcoming adversity and applying what you learned from what didn't work.
Here's where Dweck takes this topic from psychology to hard science, making it truly captivating.
The neuroscience aspect, yeah, it's fascinating.
She introduces the cutting-edge neuroscience behind the growth mindset, explaining how adopting this perspective can quite literally alter the very functioning structure pathways of your brain.
It's not just a metaphor, it's a biological reality. It's profoundly compelling to understand how our brains actually respond to challenges based on our mindset.
Dweck explains that for individuals with a growth mindset, when they encounter difficulties or challenges, the stress hormones released
Which, in a fixed mindset person, might trigger shutdown.
actually stimulate their brains.
Yes. This stimulation helps them to focus more effectively, engage more deeply with difficult problems, seek out solutions.
Dweck uses that analogy of the brain as a network of wires,
Right.
neurons connecting.
A complex network, yeah. Neurons connect, store information about thoughts, actions, learning. When we actively engage in learning, persist through difficulty, these neural connections physically strengthen, become more efficient.
And conversely, giving up or failing without trying again.
Those neural connections can actually weaken, essentially reinforcing the idea of, I can't.
So to reiterate that crucial distinction, fixed mindset, failure signals inadequacy, weaker connections hinders learning.
Right. Your brain literally reinforces the narrative that you can't, making it harder to break that cycle.
But growth mindset failure is a learning opportunity. Active engagement, stronger connections, aids learning and growth.
Exactly. Because you actively engage, aren't afraid of mistakes, you're creating and strengthening new and stronger neural connections. It actively aids deeper learning.
And Dweck's research offers compelling evidence. Students taught their brains could grow performed better.
Significantly better academically, yes, and showed far greater flexibility and resilience when faced with academic setbacks. It's a literal rewiring of the brain driven by belief.
This profound insight leads us to reevaluate that deeply ingrained societal belief, our overemphasis on innate talent.
Right. Dweck doesn't dismiss talent entirely, does she?
No, she argues that while talent is a component of success, maybe an initial accelerant, it's fundamentally only one piece of the puzzle.
And she strongly contends that mindset specifically, a growth mindset, plays a far more crucial defining determinant role in sustained success.
Natural ability might give you a head start.
An initial advantage, yeah. But sustained, long-term, truly remarkable success depends fundamentally on tireless effort, hard work, perseverance, and that intrinsic desire to continuously learn.
Talent alone, without those elements, often plateaus, or even withers.
That's the argument.
And here again, Dweck brings back Junoon, passion, highlighting its importance.
Yes. She states that true, authentic passion provides significantly greater, more enduring inspiration for continuous learning than mere talent alone ever could.
Especially when that passion is paired with a growth mindset, which embraces challenges, learns from setbacks.
Exactly. It's the deep-seated fire of passion, rather than just raw ability, that truly propels individuals to the pinnacle of their potential and helps them sustain it.
Okay, now let's talk about something truly universal. Mastering our imperfections, or what Dweck calls flaws.
Right. The fundamental truth, as she reminds us, is we all have flaws. Every single person.
The critical distinction lies entirely in how these imperfections are perceived and approached.
Exactly. A fixed mindset individual views flaws as inherent, unchangeable parts of their identity, things to be hidden, ashamed of, avoided.
And this debilitating perspective prevents them from acknowledging and working on weaknesses, stopping them from reaching their full potential.
Because they're constantly protecting a fragile sense of self-worth. Yes.
But with a growth mindset, the narrative is completely different. Liberating.
Totally. Flaws aren't defining limitations. They're accepted as natural areas for improvement, puzzles to solve, opportunities to be actively worked upon.
It's not about achieving flawlessness, which is paralyzing.
No, it's about relentlessly pursuing continuous improvement. Understanding the journey itself is the reward.
And Dweck outlines 4 powerful, actionable steps towards mastery over these imperfections, turning weaknesses into strengths.
Yes, a clear pathway. The first step is confrontation.
The most crucial step.
Arguably, yes. You must honestly, sincerely, courageously confront your own shortcomings and difficulties.
Not self-criticism, but clear-eyed, compassionate self-awareness.
Exactly. Without this foundational step, genuinely acknowledging where you struggle, meaningful learning can't begin. You have to shed denial.
Okay, step 1, confrontation. Then comes struggle.
The next, often uncomfortable but vital, phase. It involves actively grappling with the challenge, exerting consistent, sustained effort, deliberately pushing towards improvement.
Dweck emphasizes this process is rarely easy, often messy, frustrating.
Definitely. But she assures us that sustained persistence through the struggle inevitably leads to significant breakthroughs and ultimately success. You have to be willing to get messy.
You feel the discomfort of growth.
Okay.
Step 3 is restructuring.
In this dynamic phase, you must consciously, dynamically adjust your strategies, your mental models, your ways of thinking. Adaptability.
This involves meticulously learning from past failures and less than optimal approaches.
And then proactively adopting new, more effective strategies and perspectives. It's about iterating, experimenting, evolving your methods based on feedback.
The intellectual agility to find a better way.
Precisely.
And finally, step 4, results.
This last stage represents the tangible culmination of your dedicated efforts. It manifests in them visibly improved performance, concrete progress.
The undeniable realization that you are indeed on the path toward mastery.
Yes. The profound payoff for all that intentional, growth-oriented work. A powerful affirmation that your efforts have genuinely changed your capabilities and reality.
Okay, we've covered an incredible amount of ground today, diving deep into Carol Dweck's groundbreaking and profoundly influential ideas on mindset.
It's a lot to take in, but so powerful.
To recap, the overarching message why embracing a growth mindset is so vitally important for every aspect of your life is this: it cultivates adaptability,
Builds formidable internal strength.
and ignites an insatiable, lifelong eagerness to learn.
And beyond those personal attributes, it instills within you the courage, that deep inner fortitude required to confidently face life's inevitable challenges head-on.
To recover resiliently, learn profoundly from setbacks, and ultimately achieve your most ambitious goals.
This continuous process truly leads to a life characterized not by static limits, but by continuous growth, perpetual development, and ever-expanding potential, where you are always evolving, always becoming.
So how do you keep advancing your own growth mindset, integrating these principles daily?
It starts with maintaining conscious, vigilant awareness of fixed mindset patterns and thoughts and behaviors. Catch them, acknowledge them, reframe them.
And consciously, actively embracing challenges as invaluable opportunities for learning and growth rather than avoiding them.
Absolutely. Indispensable opportunities.
And it requires that conscious shift in focus
Yeah.
to effort, persistence, continuous progress.
Rather than fixating solely on innate talent or static abilities.
Yes, and this shift extends to how you interact with others, praising their effort and persistence.
Which, in turn, subtly but powerfully inspires your own personal growth by reinforcing the very principles you're trying to embody. It becomes reciprocal.
Dweck's vision also encompasses that compelling societal ripple effect.
Right. How fostering widespread growth mindsets in schools, workplaces, the broader community,
Can create a synergistic, mutually reinforcing environment.
where everyone is profoundly empowered and genuinely inspired to learn continuously, grow beyond perceived limitations, and reach their absolute fullest capacity. Imagine the collective potential unlocked.
It's truly an inspiring and deeply hopeful vision. Ultimately, Dweck's enduring message is this powerful, liberating encouragement for each of us.
To fully embrace the growth mindset, to internalize the profound, liberating idea that one's capacities are fundamentally unlimited.
It challenges us to shed those self-imposed constraints and truly believe in our boundless potential.
Absolutely. So as you reflect on this deep dive, the question becomes, what specific opportunity for growth will you choose to embrace today?
Knowing with unwavering certainty that your potential truly is limitless.
Hmm. Powerful question to leave with.
This deep dive has hopefully given you powerful, actionable insights into how your mindset can profoundly reshape your reality and unlock capabilities you never knew you possessed.
We hope so.
If you found this deep dive valuable, please do subscribe and like to support us to keep making these kinds of amazing videos.
It really helps us continue exploring these fascinating topics.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive journey.